All right, so let's look at a general example now of this as well. So here we can talk about a general rule. So if you have compound xy, we can talk about x plus and y minus. And for x plus, you're going to be asking about if it's a conjugate acid of a weak base. For y minus, you're going to be asking, is it a conjugate base of a weak acid? So for the first part, you're asking about if it's a conjugate acid. In the second half, you're asking about if it's a conjugate base. So if something is a conjugate acid of a weak base, and that's yes, if you know that's a weak base or you know that it's a weak acid, then it's going to be acidic. If it's not, it'll be neutral. Same thing is true over here. You might know about that something is a weak base. You might know that its conjugate is a weak acid. And if you have a conjugate base of something that's a weak acid, then it is a base. If it's a strong acid, it would be ineffectual. But if it's a weak conjugate of a weak acid, it'll be basic. No, it's neutral. So overall, you can have three possibilities. Acidic plus neutral is acidic. Basic plus neutral is basic. And neutral plus neutral is neutral. Now, some people might come up with another option here. What other thing am I leaving off of this overall? Acidic plus basic. That's because I'm never going to ask you that when it comes to a salt. Because pretty much salts are formed when you're doing a titration. And you're going to be either titrating a strong acid, a strong base. You're going to be titrating a weak acid with a strong base. Or you're going to be titrating a strong acid with a weak base. You are never going to titrate a weak acid with a weak base. That would yield no interesting results of any kind. So you're not going to be forming salts that are conjugates of both those things. So if you want to think about it that way, that's fine. Or you could just remember that that is not what I'm going to ask you. These are great little short answer questions on an exam. So if you're good at thinking about this, it'll definitely give you a couple of points on one of the exams.